Of course, the most troubling question is, why do these people assume we're gay?
It's a very interesting topic because it's one that it really upsets a lot of people in one way or another.
So what is queerbaiting? It is a term that refers to what happens when people in the media, usually television or movies, add homoerotic tension between two characters to attract more liberal and queer
viewers, with the indication of them not ever getting together for real in the show / book / movie. Here's the quote. There's always a quote or two. Hey, did you watch the new Supernatural episode last night? And then the next quote is, nah, all the queer baiting in it makes me want to bash my head in.
The characters Dean and Castiel,
known as Destiel,
have a relationship that's been built up for years, and yet we have yet to see the outcome that fans have been expecting.
So I'm disappointed.
Destiel is the pairing of protagonist Dean Winchester and Castiel, an angel who has taken a human host and resurrects Dean from hell in his first ever appearance.
When Castiel first laid a hand on you in hell, he was lost!
This ship is so large, the ship name has its own definition entry on Urban Dictionary.
I'm not familiar with that.
Of course you fucking know what Destiel is.
Have you not heard of that?
I have not heard of this.
Is
this
don't
something
hear
that you
that.
created, Ben?
You don't want any part of that.
I don't want any part of that?
It's sort of extreme bromance.
Are you kidding? They're just good friends. Bro.
100% no homo, bro!
There's a lot of images from it, too. There's a haunting number of pictures of maybe, let's say, Dean in an angelic embrace. And that's being kind of gentle with it, isn't it? There's...
that. People want them to be together. Ironically enough, it's the only thing which hasn't happened so far in Supernatural's 9 billion episodes.
As if we were his servants. Oh, yeah.
Shows will hint that an LGB romance is taking place, but disregard that fact later.
It's just a strange splinter of fiction.
So yeah, Supernatural fans stepped out in large part because they were sick of the queerbaiting.
Long looks, the stolen glances, the general atmosphere of would they, might they?
Annie, I think you're reading into some things.
Oh, really?
The connection between these two characters was instant.
Cares. We've talked about this. Personal space.
Now, the implicit is often in the way that a story is scripted.
I killed 2 angels this week. So my brothers. I'm hunted. I rebelled, and I did all of it for you.
I spent all that time trying to get through to you. Dean calls once, and now it's hello.
Yes.
So what? You like him better or something?
Dean and I do share a more profound bond. I wasn't gonna mention it.
Or the way that a show is shot.
Suddenly Cass appears right in front of him, so they stand like this in front of each other.
I'm there now.
Yeah, I get that.
I'm gonna hang up now. Right.
Pretty nice timing, Cass.
We had an appointment.
If these two characters were a man and a woman, then we would assume this was a love story, right?
The way that a show is shot, which means that there are just hints of parallels or themes that come up between the heterosexual couples who are very much canon and the queer couples who are being queerbaited.
It would be different if they hadn't made so many jokes and references to it.
Oh, Cass, not for nothing, but the last person who looked at me like that, I got laid.
Also, some implicit ways of doing queerbaiting, which are to do with ambiguous lines or ambiguous settings.
What are you talking about? Let me tell you something. There are 2 things that I know for certain. 1, Bert and Ernie are gay. 2, you are not gonna die a virgin. Not on my watch.
And there's they joke about it.
Maybe they wrongly assumed Dean would be brave enough to withstand them.
You know what? Blow me, Cass.
Look,
Go ask him. He was your boyfriend first.
The idea that other characters mistake your sort of two characters who are being queer-baited as a couple, and this is treated as a hilarious joke that couldn't possibly be true.
You have me confused with the other angel? You know, the one in the dirty trench coat who's in love with you?
This laughter at the assumption that someone might be in a relationship with someone of the same gender means that you're also laughing at the viewers, that you're laughing at the people who are trying to find representation of themselves within the media.
It was a bad joke. Good idea. Yeah.
Oh, give me a break.
I'm just really tired of them playing games.
I probably shouldn't talk about it because I haven't, I shouldn't talk about it.
Showrunners and actors are entirely aware of it, and because of this, they occasionally play into it.
So this isn't just within the shows themselves. Because of the way that media works now, and because of how much of a reciprocal relationship a lot of the stars and writers of shows have.
How does Castiel really feel about Dean?
So the way that they'll deal with queerbaiting is that often they can't shut it down completely by, you know, taking all of these references out of the show, because that it defeats the point of what queerbaiting is, which is, to be honest, a marketing ploy, so that they can both appease queer people and give them characters that they think that they might be able to identify with, but also not make the characters so explicit that they alienate homophobic viewers.
And that's sick.
Doesn't exist. Let's face reality here.
And they know that queer people are so starved of representation in the media that they will hang on for season upon season on the hope that these characters will actually admit the fact that they are queer.
I know I shouldn't support that, but there's some sort of hope in me that this is going to pay off.
And instead of saying these two characters are heterosexual, they will never get together, what Adam Glass says is, what's great about these characters is they mean so much to so many of us, why limit them to just one thing when they can be all of them? So someone else basically said, well, that's queerbaiting, my friend. And he replied with, oh, far from it, only my humble opinion. I believe it is not my place to define them. They belong to the fans.
You have this opportunity to have a bi main character, and you just completely squander it.
It was so much fun to shoot that because he played it so right down the middle, you know, and just more awkward about it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, wow, somebody likes me.
Well, that's the weird thing, is that it reads in this weird way where it does feel like Dean's a little bit like... It's almost like a romantic comedy kind of fluster, which is very interesting for the character Dean, like, because it just sort of suggests this weird, this potential.
Potential for
Aaron
love in all places.
Okay.
The fact that the executive producers of the show in season 8 were agreeing for another writer to completely dismiss it later really makes me frustrated.
No one is acknowledging who is in charge of these decisions. So sometimes they will just refuse to talk about it. So this has been kind of a bit of a controversy at a number of conventions.
Okay, that's not an appropriate question, right?
That questions will be kind of censored.
I love the character becoming more comfortable with himself each season. I'm bisexual and I've noticed some possible subtext that
You know what I said about happy to be on the East Coast? I'm kidding. Don't ruin it for everybody now.
Are you one of them? I'm not gay. I'm not asking you out. I'm not gay.
Leslie, there was Mark. Is that a problem?
He's a bisexual. Is that a problem? I mean, what kind of question is that? Is that a problem? Of course it's a problem.
I'm kidding.
Supernatural is full of jokes based around the idea that Dean is bisexual, and Collins, who plays Castiel, admitted that showrunner Jeremy Carver told him to play Cass like a jilted lover.
Yeah. Looking more anime, or are you strictly into dick now?
Dean Winchester being bisexual is one of the few headcanons I will hold to my grave.
There was a line in the last episode that I shot where Jensen's character, whatever is that character's name, says, I love you to Castiel. And And I'm like 98% sure that that was in there for that reason. Like, the writers were like, you know who would really love this?
Their story wasn't even supposed to happen. Cass was supposed to die in season 4, and that was it. But he didn't, because the fans liked him too much.
Just on principle, I might stop watching. Which I would hate, because it's my favorite show.
Men can be queer as well. This is the kind of storyline that goes on in heterosexual couples' relationships all the time in TV shows. The idea of the will they, won't they. So you have this will they, won't they get together, and sometimes they break up and then they get back together and they talk about them being endgame and all this kind of stuff. This is something that happens to heterosexual couples all the time. The difficulty with queerbaiting is that we know in our heart of hearts it will never get to the will they. It will always be a won't they.
And the way it is written by the show, it is a love story.
Yeah.
I don't see how it can be interpreted any other way. It absolutely is.
Of course, I would like them to kiss. I would like them to say I love you. I would like them to be a love story, just like any other love story that there is.
It's the kind of internal, personal coming out experience when you realise for the first time that you might be queer, that a lot of queer people identify with.
I don't get to see characters like myself very often in the media. I don't get to see relationships I can be in.
I'm bi, so I kind of have seen myself in similar situations as Dean had. You're attracted to somebody and it's kind of, for me, reflecting
I think it's very important to us because we sort of met through Supernatural and we kind of fell in love through falling in love with Destiel.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get married, so obviously.
And we also got engaged at this.
I am from Russia, and you all know that Russia is a not very accepting country in terms of homosexuality.
As they help being shot inside the plant.
It's so funny.
Oh, nothing. Whew. It's been a long time since I've left anywhere. Oh, it's been more than a long time. Years.
I don't like being erased in the medium that I care so much about.
You just feel like it's absolutely necessary to punish them for how dare they bait us.
And as long as people are still invested in these shows, this marketing ploy is working. Why would they change it?
Fortunately for some people, we're not fucking idiots.
I just want to be treated with respect when it comes to my sexuality. And the way they're treating Supernatural and its fans is not respect to me. It's exploitation.
To all the creators out there, listen to your fans. Think about the dynamics you're portraying. Make us visible without killing us off. Make us visible without making us a token stereotype. Please, make us visible. You decide.
Or to talk about some shows which are actually doing queer characters right, please leave a